So, yeah, hello. This guy show up on stage and does the intro, and the rest is just video.
Really? They literally just did here's a man talking, and then here's
Bethesda Direct.
Sweet. I mean, as I say, my mate stayed up till 5 a.m. to watch this. So
It's also, aside from Devolver Digital, the shortest of the presentations, so
Devolver Digital.
it probably helped, but I'm not quite sure. It's like Nintendo does just videos. Why do you have a guy showing up stage and then just doing a video?
Well, like do one or the other. You mean either do all video or do a presentation? You mean?
Yeah.
Don't do like a token. Here is our presentation.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, if Bethesda put in minimum effort, we probably should too. Wolfenstein 2?
Now I'm adding video to the video. There we go, video. Anyway, basically they start off with Bethesda Land, the most fantastic creation for everybody, young and old. And they talk about VR and stuff they've released and stuff they've released that's coming out in VR. That's the first biggest bit they have.
Is that where they covered the Skyrim stuff and everything?
Oh, they talk about Doom. They talk about Fallout 4.
Oh wait, Doom VR?
Yeah.
Wait, what? So why has my Twitter feed only talked about Skyrim VR? Doom VR?
It sounds more interesting than Skyrim VR, doesn't it?
Why is Doom VR not like the biggest story of E3? This is...
I played Doom, but it's like, I'm not quite sure about the VR thing yet. It probably is going to be bigger than it is now, but I don't think enough people have it yet.
And let's be honest, the technology's not there. But no, the thing with Bethesda is like, I liked the Bethesda Land branding. That's a cutesy little. I like the little theme park layout thing. That was cool. But like, so Skyrim VR was a thing, right? Yeah. And the Skyrim card game.
Oh, that's a little bit further on.
That's further on. I'm not going to step on your toes. Then go ahead.
So it's like I haven't played Fallout 4 yet. I might do, but I didn't like 3 at all. So
I loved 3. Loved New Vegas. 4.
Vegas was better than 3.
See, I'm in the other camp. I'm one of the weirdos that likes 3 more than New Vegas. But I think it's just because that was my first Fallout. I mean, in many ways, that was my first action RPG. Like, that was my eye-opener to big open-world games, really. So I think that's why I've got such a coloured view of 3. But 4 doesn't seem like what I want from a Fallout game at all. Like, it does... I mean, I remember saying to my mates up front about Fallout 4, like, if I played it ever, it would be on the PC, and I would mod in the thing that made you mod out the main story, and B, made you mod in the old way of doing the dialogue, where there's no voice acting and it's just text choices. Like, Fallout 4 was not what I want in a Fallout game, really, at all.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably a discussion best for another day. And then they show Elder Scrolls Online. I'm like, people still play that?
Apparently it's actually done fairly well in terms of like.
I haven't heard a thing of it ever since it got released.
No, like this is the thing, is that I thought it was going to come out to a lot of hype, and then it seemed to do really terribly out of the gate, and I thought, oh, that's going to die a death then. But I think it's done fairly well in like slowly growing a admittedly small user base. It's quite well.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 14. It's like, who are these people playing these games? Like World of Warcraft, you can't walk down the street without hitting somebody in the face that's played it. But these, I don't know. But there's new content coming out for that. That's great for them.
Skyrim DLC?
Morrowind.
Oh, okay.
Then they showed an Elder Scrolls Legends trading card game.
Right. Is this going to be they're trying to tackle Hearthstone?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That is what it's called, right?
It's a lot of trading. No, this is Elder Scrolls Legends.
No, but I do mean Hearthstone, don't I?
Yeah, Hearthstone, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's lots of trading card games nowadays.
Yeah, there is. But I mean, again, this is the thing. Like, what again? Like, the second you're trying to eat Blizzard's lunch, you're onto a loser. This is why Elder Scrolls Online did not be a success, because it's against Warcraft. And if you're going to release a trading card game, you're against fucking Hearthstone. Like, it's a war that you can't hope to win.
Isn't Hearthstone like based on Warcraft as well?
Yes, it is. It is the Warcraft trading card game, and it's free to play.
Yeah, so it's very difficult to beat that then.
Exactly. Like, how the fuck do you, like, why would you even bother? Like, that they've got a monopoly on that shit immediately out of the gate. Like, why bother trying? And from what I've played a little bit of Hearthstone, like, it's really good. Like, as a deck builder, like it like, this is the thing with Blizzard, is they know what they're fucking good at. The reason why they are so good is because they are so good. You know, like, why would you play another deck builder? They're good at it.
There's plenty others out there as well, but I don't know the names. Then they showed Nintendo Switch.
Alrighty.
And this is where Skyrim shows up.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you haven't played Skyrim between 6 years ago when it was first released and soon, you can play it on your Nintendo Switch. And you can
when the fucking remaster came out like 5 minutes ago as well.
Yeah, I think I've got that one. I haven't played Skyrim either, if you don't believe me.
Have you really? Oh,
I have it. It's just I haven't had the time and, space.
I mean, to be fair, you will need the time to play Skyrim. So I mean, this is where I can jump in then, I guess, is that Skyrim. So I'd played Fallout, as I said, it was my introduction to the big open worldy game. And then I played New Vegas. I'd never played any of the old Elder Scrolls ever, and my mates all assured me they were better than Fallout. And I was like, how could anything be better than Fallout? And then I played, no, seriously. And then I played Skyrim. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. But I haven't played the remaster or anything like that. But I do feel like now I'm ready to play through Skyrim again. And I keep looking at it on Steam. And this thing about Skyrim being on Switch, it's easy to look at it and go, that's arbitrary as fuck. Like, why would they bother? But, for reasons we'll discuss later, I'm definitely going to get a Switch. And I'm thinking, like, now, that's probably when I'm going to play through Skyrim again.
Hey, I don't slam ports because there's always somebody playing something for the first time. But I just personally don't get them very often.
No, I mean, but this one especially seems really out of the blue. This one, like, I remember this at the Switch launch being like, this is the most random fucking... I can kind of see it from Nintendo's standpoint of being like, wait, look, we're Nintendo and we can release these big open world games now. But it does seem like Nintendo and Skyrim are strange bedfellows, to say the least.
Yeah, it's like Zombie U for the Wii U.
Yes, very much so, but on a different but the same. Yes.
So they show Skyrim, and if you use amiibos, you can have Link's outfits from Breath of the Wild. But
wait, what?
If you use amiibos,
there's amiibos.
You know amiibos.
Oh, for fuck! This is going to be the best game of all time. Okay, carry on. Go ahead.
And you can use the Joy-Cons to aim arrows with and things like that.
Nah, they have that kind of shit on
but
there.
Nobody's really ever going to use that.
No, one's ever going to use that. Like, literally never.
I remember when the Kinect came out, and on the promo videos, they had people shouting "Fuss Road Dart" at the TV, and no one ever has done that ever in the history of America.
So yeah, that was a bit short for Nintendo, but, Skyrim. We're going to see a lot of Skyrim back soon.
I mean, that's fine,
They showed the new Dishonored. I haven't played the first one, but it looks good.
Wait. Dishonored 2? That came out last year, though.
Really?
Yeah, really. My mate bought, like, the 80 quid bullshit edition with a mask and everything.
80 quid for a mask.
That came out last year. That was at last year's E3.
It must be some kind of a DLC then.
Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, no, Dishonored 2 has been long since been and gone.
This shows you how much attention I sometimes pay. Death of the Outsider.
And I know more about it than you did.
It's a DLC for Dishonored 2 called Death of the Outsider.
Okay, alright. There you go. Dishonored 2 DLC came, and neither of us clearly is in a position to talk about this with any authority, so let's move along.
See, this is why you're here. That seemed alright. I haven't played the games, but they got the fan base, so that's cool. They showed a new Quake game, and they showed intentions. Yes, they made it very clear they're going to start off an esports racket to go along with it. So if you want to play Quake again, you can soon do that with Quake Champions.
Or what you could do is do what everyone else who played Quake does and just keep playing Quake on the PC. This is the problem with the fucking esports bullshit, is that, like, it's a perfectly, like, Quake especially, right, is the ultimate organic, like, Quake 2 came out, complete game changer, changed the way all shooters work and all online gameplay works. And now they're just going to buy the IP, try and just change the rules. No, doesn't work like that. Not going to catch on.
There's a reason why people still play Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
There's a reason why people still play Quake 2. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, fuck's sake, it's not going to catch on. Not going to catch on. Terrible idea. Although I did get excited after Doom, so maybe it'll be good. We'll see.
Oh, and then we get a sad, slow pop song. And we have so many sad, slow pop songs during E3 this year. And I've forgotten which one it was. I think it might have been the Seal with Crazy.
Is this more? Are we talking more in the this year? More in the realms of the Mad World cover?
Yes.
As opposed to the glory days of 2013 when it was just fucking Jack Tretton coming out to Imagine Dragons.
Yes.
High-fiving Kaz Hirai being like, haha, Xbox is shite.
So we're never ever gonna survive unless... So mopey and whiny, and it's like, what the fuck am I looking at? And it's The Evil Within 2.
Oh, God, yeah.
So people were looking forward to that for years, so that's good.
Why, though?
I don't know.
So bad.
I'm just happy for other people.
But what? Like, I don't know anyone that liked the first one. I remember saying this to my mate, because my mate hadn't played it. The first one, sorry. And he was like, oh, I kind of meant to go back to it, and I might play the new one. I might go and play. I was like, don't play the first one before the new one comes out, because the first one was shit. Like,
was it?
Yeah, it was rubbish.
Okay.
This, Evil Within 2, for me, was my Halo Wars 2 this year, in that, like, this is the sequel that no one asked for, but they've made anyway. Not to say that Halo Wars... Like, not to say Halo Wars 1 was bad, it's just that nobody asked for a sequel to it, and they made it. And Evil Within 1 was, and especially now, Evil Within 2, coming out in the wake of Resident Evil 7. Fucking good luck, lads. That's all I'm going to say, like, coming out in the wake of that masterpiece. Best of luck.
Right, and that's the last thing they show, and they go, oh, well, we hope you enjoyed your trip to Bethesda Land. But before we go, we have one more last feature presentation. And it's fucking Wolfenstein.
Hell to the yeah. Like, I mean, this is the thing, is that, like, they clearly knew as well.
Yeah, everybody fucking knew.
It was fucking nothing, and they were just like, alright, we'll bang all this shite out, and then here's the big deal.
Yeah, because it's basically, that's their biggest thing from this year. It's fucking Wolfenstein.
I mean, fuck yes, it is.
I mean, I really like the New Order, and I don't really care much for what came in between, but they make good shooters. Bethesda makes good shooters, so I'm really happy about this. And they showed BJ Blazkowicz, and they showed, like, America being taken over by Nazis, and KKK Klansmen walking around in broad daylight. And there's people actually upset about this, that, oh, why you got to kill Nazis again? Why is this so cliche?
Yeah, I was going to say, and this is the hilarious thing, like I said, like, at the start of this, it's a different world from when we last made the podcast. And I mean, last time we did a podcast, we could have happily gone, hey, how fun is shooting Nazis? Am I right? And everyone would have gone, hell yeah. And now, there's a fucking discourse around whether or not it's okay
to punch Nazis in the face.
Well, you shoot fucking Nazis.
It's always good to punch Nazis in the face.
Well, but yeah, I more than anybody, was shocked to the core at just how good Wolfenstein: The New Order was. It was not only it was my favourite shooter that I've played probably in the last 10 years. Incredible game, and it recaptured the spirit of the old Wolfensteins and made them modern in a way you wouldn't have thought possible. And they did the same trick with Doom, and I am so excited.
I can't remember the last game I liked as a first-person shooter before the New Order.
Yeah,
and the one after that is Doom. So it's like,
yeah. And the thing with the New Order was that they had this thing where their stealth was dead good, but also if you went guns akimbo, it was still dead good. It didn't feel like a game that punished you for playing it how you wanted to play it. It was just like, oh, you want to do all guns? Do all the guns. You want to do knives? Do the knives. Fucking whatever, man. Whatever makes you happy. And it was just so fun. I'm so excited for the new Wolfenstein. So excited. And Bethesda have lost a lot of their sheen in the last few years, because I think Bethesda and Valve used to be the two companies where everyone looked at and was like, these are the guys, these are the lads who are
the innovators.
It's okay to like them. They're good companies. And I think Bethesda, they've lost a bit of that shine in recent years, but when they keep churning out shit as good as this, I think they're still alright.
At the very least, they create games and they might not be what you want from them, but they're always huge and, time consuming in a good way. Like, you can do whatever the fuck, really. Like, that's apparently a big complaint with Fallout 4. People were like, it's a bad story, the game mechanics are clunky, but I spent 17 months of my life creating a corn farm in Fallout 4.
I sort of disagree in that I think Bethesda are the masters of making games exactly what you want. This is why I was put off by Fallout 4, is that, and this is going to be the weirdest criticism ever, is that it wasn't more of the same. It was different. I was like, this isn't a Fallout game. It wasn't more of the same. But I do feel like they're really good at giving you exactly what you want. And in that Wolfenstein remake, the best thing about that game wasn't even the gameplay. It was, the weird shit in the background. The weird collectibles. Where you would pick up the thing and it'd be like a Beatles record, but it was in German. Stuff like that. And then you went to that fucking base and it was like a guy called Jane. It was like, is this Jimi Hendrix? Is it Jimi Hendrix? And you weren't sure, but you fucking thought it was, but you weren't sure. Like, stuff like that. That's what Bethesda is so good at. Like, they can build a fucking world.
They start off the trailer with all these TV shows of occupied America, but then, like, these weird German programs. Like, America's favorite quiz show, German or else. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, I remember like the Beatles record, things like that. Like these little bits of Americana, and they know how to just make them a bit weird. And like, it's so strange as well because this Wolfenstein sequel, right?
Yeah.
This feels like something that was always going to happen because the first one was such a smash.
Yes.
But now it's taken on a weird satirical commentary tone. And I think that is completely unintentional. It's not like, say, Far Cry 5, where it feels entirely intentional. Like that.
Well, which we'll get to in a moment as well.
We'll get to in a bit, but like, yeah, like the Wolfenstein 2 thing. I don't know. There's some weird stuff there. I don't know.
Shoot Nazis in America because they've taken over.
It's too long a conversation to have in this space.
I know, but it's like, do you know how long it takes to develop a game? It takes about 2 to 3 years. So about 2 to 3 years ago, they were already planning to make this.
Oh yeah, I am sure the second that first one got those plaudits, they were like, make another one, make a second one, and they started making it immediately. They couldn't have known what was about to come, but I actually think it's going to work in their favour. I actually think it's going to be the most cathartic experience we've ever had in the Western world. Shooting Nazis in the face is never going to have been so much fun since the Second World War, and if Bethesda get anything about them, they'll make that the tagline.
Wolfenstein 2, shooting Nazis in the face. Actually, it's called the New Colossus, but they used the Roman numerical for 2, so it's Wolfenstein II, And it's also the 11th Wolfenstein game ever made.
Wolfenstein 11 on the Xbox One, which is the third one.
The Xbox One X, which is...
So, it's Wolfenstein 11, but it's also the number 2 on the Xbox One X, which is also the number 10. And it's the third Xbox, and it's the 11th Wolfenstein.
Anyway, they end it with, like, everything you've seen in Bethesda Land is going to be out this year. So that was cool.
Yep.
So I like it when, okay, some game developers, they say, like, oh, it's going to be out November 10th. But usually when it gets postponed, people get really upset by it.
Yep.
Nintendo has a different approach. They usually say, like, spring 2017 or fall 2018. So they give them a ballpark, and I think that's good as well. Yep. But Bethesda usually goes like, oh, this trailer for this game, 2 months from now. And 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be playing it 2 months from then.
They do. Although, I mean, there was that thing about the Doom delays, and again, like, people got really pissy about this. But I'm always one of those people where it's like, if a games company says to me, either we can release a substandard game, or we can delay the game and release a proper game, I'd rather fucking delay the game.
I'd rather have a game be delayed so many times that when I play it, it's a masterpiece, than fucking...
And so many people complained about the delays to Doom, and then when Doom came out, no one fucking complained. So, I mean, again, this is a conversation for another day, but just wanted to make my feelings clear. Like, but Bethesda, nailing their colours to the mast, it can go one or two ways, but generally speaking, as long as a company releases a game when it is ready, regardless of when they promised it, and I guess we can have this conversation again a little bit when we talk about Ubisoft.
That's 2 pages away.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there. So Bethesda, not very impressed by most what they have, but what they did have, I liked. I was really wowed by it. So it's like, I'm in the middle of the road with them.
Well, again, like, following this as I did purely on Twitter, it seemed weird in that, like, I was seeing headlines on Google going, oh, Bethesda just won E3. And then when I went on Twitter, Twitter was like, well, that was nothing. So I was like, well, now I don't know what to think. But I'm guessing Wolfenstein alone saved it for a lot of people. So.
I think probably, yeah. So the next press conference is only 15 minutes long.
This is so good in that, like, you took notes, you've taken notes, I haven't taken notes, and even I know what's coming next.
I woke up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I didn't know Devolver Digital had a press conference. Oh, it's only... Oh, it's only 50 minutes long. That's like a third of what Bethesda did. Oh, well, they're not as big as Bethesda, so they probably don't have as much to show. Boy, was I wrong.
Oh, man. See, for me, best in show.
It is definitely... I think it's definitely the best in show.
Like, they still haven't, but... I still haven't. But I feel like if I was going to go back and watch one of the full press conferences, this would be the one that I would watch.
I watched all of them twice.
And what? This isn't the best one then?
This is the best one, definitely. Yes.
There it is, official right now. The TLDR best in show for E3 Devolver Digital best in show.
Have you actually seen it though?
I haven't seen all of it.
It's only 50 minutes long.
I know. Look, I've been very busy. I've been very, very busy over the weekend. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, sorry.
We had a general election, if you didn't notice.
Oh, sorry.
but no, I've seen. I think I've seen all I need to. There was.
I can't even describe it. It's like I could describe it, but people are probably better off just Googling Devolver Digital E3 press conference 2017.
I would absolutely rather now, if anyone is going to listen to this, And if anyone is going to take our consumer advice, I would rather we don't discuss this press conference. I would rather they turn this podcast off, go find that press conference.
Pause this podcast. Not turn it off.
Podcast. So don't turn it off. Pause it. Fuck it. We've already got the hits by now. They can turn it off if they want. We've already got the fucking hits or downloads. It doesn't matter. Or whatever. And go watch that 15 minutes.
I think they showed one game and it was like a dual...
I heard didn't show any games.
They showed one game, but I'm not quite sure if it was legit. It seemed like a double joystick shooter, you know, where you move your character with the one and then aim your firing with the other.
Yes.
But they didn't name it, and they skipped it over very quickly.
It might have been real. It might not have been. Let's just say this now, because we're obviously not going to talk about this conference for long, because A, we would rather people get the joke for what it is and see it live, and B, it wasn't very long anyway, and C, they didn't give us anything to talk about. But I will just say, Devolver are one of, if not my favourite developer. Every game of theirs that I've played, I've really loved. I even liked Hotline Miami 2. People didn't like the second one. I really liked the second one. I think they're really cool. They seem like they've got their finger on the pulse of what game is actually like, and I think they only make games that they care about. I don't think they're in it to make money. It seems like they are in it to make games that are good. And I just want to kind of take this space in lieu of talking about their conference, just to give them their props and just say Devolver Digital are really cool. And if anything was proof...
We're not sponsored by Devolver Digital.
No, we're not.
Hashtag not an ad could be an ad.
Full disclosure, I have given them a lot more money than they've ever given me. I just wanted to say, like, if we're not going to talk... This press conference, is proof positive of just how cool those guys are. That was my takeaway from it, was that if you want to look...
I haven't played all of their games, but they are definitely fun, and this press conference, at least, was fucking hilarious.
Yes, I feel like this press conference encapsulated everything about Devolver Digital that you need to know, much in the same way that EA's press conference encapsulated everything about them that you need to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's just let them lie and wish Devolver Digital all the best in the world.
Absolutely. Here's to you, Devolver Digital. Hotline Miami is the best game. Go play it.
Thank you very much. Anyway, PC Gamer, the magazine, had a press conference.
Yes, because if there's one thing that screams cutting edge of electronics technology in 2017, it is print media.
And they were not actually even on the E3 schedule on the website. This is the weirdest thing.
What?
So they had a press conference at E3, but they're not listed on the press conference website.
So what did what did the website say then? Just Devolver, then just...
It says Devolver Digital.
Noise, and then
it says Ubisoft. But an hour before Ubisoft, PC Gaming was busy.
See, now I feel like the E3 felt like Devolver were going to do more. I just love the idea that they was like, well, we didn't know they were going to do that. Just get PC Gamer on stage now.
Have we got anybody else? Yeah, we've got a magazine called PC Gamer. PC Gamer, I have to say, on the whole, I really liked their self-deprecation. Because they were really, taking the piss out of themselves.
Who's not to give plugs, but who is at PC Gamer these days? Like any names that spring out, like anybody?
No fucking clue, mate.
Presenting or writing for them that we should know about?
Nope.
Anyone whose name that you've written down is particularly good, even?
No. It's just the one guy, and I forgot to write his name down.
Fair enough. But although if people are listening, just Google PC Gamer E3, and then his name will come up. So they.
All right, so that guy. They start off with XCOM 2, and yes. Before we go there again, I do realise XCOM 2 has been out for quite a while.
It's on sale on Steam this weekend, though.
Oh yes. So there's this new DLC coming out, and I forgot the name. And it's new factions on Earth with new resistance, but also new alien creations. It's like a little bit like the named orcs in Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, right, okay.
So they're like these specific hunters that are geared towards taking you down. There's the warlock, there's the something or other, and there's the blah 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 blah.
I mean, let's be honest. If XCOM 2 needed anything, it was to hate you more. If XCOM 2 needed two things, it was one, to be harder, and two, to just hate you more than it already does.
And they added like a zombie plague of like, if you're fighting in the city, the Lost come out. And
I'm not going to play this.
The Lost, they attack aliens as well as human beings.
I might play this.
I thought you were going to say that. So, it looks cool. I haven't played XCOM 2 yet. I've played the first one.
I really didn't care for XCOM 2.
Is it that fucking hard?
Again, a conversation for another day, but it would have to be some serious DLC to get me to pick it up. Like, it just didn't do it for me. And bear in mind, XCOM 1 is in my top 3 PC games ever.
What, the remake, I take it?
Yeah, like the 2K version from a couple of years ago. When I first got a PC, one of the first games that I got, and I played it for too many hours. Too many hours that I'm willing to admit to. But XCOM 2, it just didn't grab me. Maybe, but again, maybe the DLC will, because I will say I played the first one with all the DLC like up front. So maybe the DLC will make 2 worthwhile, but for me,
yeah, it's all personal. Yeah.
Yep.
Then they show Ooblets, Ooblets, and it was in the gigantic fucking arse list of Xbox games, but you probably forgot.
I absolutely did forget. Yeah.
I wonder why. Because I've forgotten, and I saw the actual presentation. So Ooblets is made by Double Fine, the same studio that's from Tim Schafer.
Yeah.
So, and it's only 2 people that make this game. And they make it out to be like a multi-party Pokemon game. Like you have several monsters, except you're fighting all at the same time. And it's in the style of more pastel colors. It's not as anime. It's really not as anime. And I've heard somebody on the floor call it like in the style of Adventure Time. And I find it very hard-pressed to call it anything else because it feels like a very Saturday morning cartoony thing.
I think the problem you have with trying to sell something with it's multiplayer and it's not just 2-player and it's pastel coloured is that Pokemon also does that now.
Pokemon does pastel colours?
Pokemon's flagship character has always been Pikachu, but it's always had Skitty, Eevee, and even if you load up now, even Sun and Moon.
Oh yeah.
Now, even the most ferocious of the Pokemon, Gyarados, is still a wonderful pale pastel blue, and he doesn't look that ferocious. He looks ferocious. He looks ferocious compared to all of the Pokemon, but he doesn't look that ferocious. Like, if that's as bad as it gets, if you can't tell me you see a battle between a Skitty and a Pikachu going, this is a bit too intense. I need something a little bit more kid friendly. Pokemon already does all those things. I mean, if you're saying to me like there's an RPG out there that is Adventure Time-esque, you're ticking all the boxes, buddy. But I've got to say, this goes back to the discussion we had about taking on Warcraft and taking on Hearthstone. Is it Pokemon already caters to all those needs in the new one? Their big selling point, 4-way battles. It's already there. They've already done it.
But Ooblets, it looked okay at least. I was gonna say fun, but they didn't show much. But I hope people on the floor that audience reception apparently is very good, so I hope it does.
Oh, the people that had hands on with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, to play devil's advocate a bit, for all I was going, what's the fucking point? Pokemon already exists. Like, as somebody who consumes those type of games, I'm all for another Pokemon coming along. Like, if there is going to be another really kawaii game, RPG-esque, Adventure Time-esque game coming along, I'm willing to buy that as well as Pokemon. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
it's very difficult to compete with the main fucking bastard, the main champion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the main bastard. Yeah, that's the exact phrase. That's the exact phrase I would have used.
Exactly, for Pokemon, a kids game. So then they show BattleTech, which is based on a tabletop RPG, which is definitely up there with Dungeons and Dragons and World of Darkness in recognizable names for tabletop RPGs, I would say.
Wait, what's it called, sorry?
BattleTech.
BattleTech? Yes. And you reckon that's on a part of Dungeons and Dragons, do you?
I'm being slightly facetious here.
Oh. that makes more sense then.
I've never heard of BattleTech before in my life.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, you don't play tabletop games that much, do you?
No.
Well, I do, and let me tell you,
you fucking nerd.
I've never heard of BattleTech in my entire life.
I have played some in the past.
I used to play Warhammer, and I currently am in a group of 4 dudes who get together once every 2 weeks and play exclusively board games, tabletop games. We play Deadlands, we're about to start playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're always looking for new, especially campaign-based games, especially like role-playing game-based board games. Never heard of it in my entire life.
I'm quite jealous because I wish there was something like that around where I live.
Never, ever heard of it, ever. And if anyone's going to have heard of it on this podcast, it's going to have been me. And I'll tell you, buddy, fucking nothing. Not even in the darkest reaches of the darkest forums that I've been to.
See,
I'm sure that'll do well.
It's about mechas and mechas. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wrote down. Yeah.
Okay.
Then they showed off another YouTuber. And this YouTuber, I wrote down YouTuber because I don't remember her name. But you remember the last one I mentioned? It was in the EA one. And he was awkward and weird. And I said I could do a better job than him.
Oh, you're about to save us, aren't you?
This lady, I don't know her name. She was something OMG Firefox. Hang on, I do know the name.
You're about to save us.
She's very good.
There we go. There's the saving. Because you were like, she was some YouTube woman. I didn't remember her name. And I was like, oh no, he's made us look like fucking typical internet sexist gamer pigs. But then,
no.
But then I could see where you were going. I could see where you were going with it. You're going to be like, remember the guy I mentioned? He was a prick. He was terrible. But this woman, she was dead good because we're all liberal and that. And she was dead good at presenting.
No, but she was. She just, I wouldn't say she stood out compared to other people who held a microphone
but
for the
light. At least competent.
She was competent and she said her phrases properly.
Who had been transplanted from her normal medium into a medium that was completely alien, and she didn't fuck it up. Hats off to her.
And that's all I wanted.
That is, I mean, at E3, that is the absolute most you can ask for.
I mean, in E3, we've had things like, I've got Girlwood.
Hashtag bitch dick. Never forget that. And let's be fair, Aisha Tyler is good. And even she has shit like that going on, so come on. Because she is good. She is good. And
yes.
Still, hashtag bitch dick. Good times. I mean, God. Could always be, what's his name? Mr. Xbox from 2013. Jesus. He was a mess. Was it Jack Tretton? No, Jack Tretton's the PS guy. He's really cool.
So they show off a new group RPG thing, battle thing. It's called Mountain Blade Battle Lord. And
I have a mate who swears by Mountain Blade, but I've never played it.
It seems very generic, and it didn't do anything for me.
It always pops up on sale on Steam, the old Mountain Blade, but it just seems like one of many.
Yeah. Then they showed Total War Warhammer 2 with lizardmen and high elves, and they showed a Tyrannosaurus Rex fighting a dragon. I'm like,
it's not a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, what is it?
It's not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. There are no Tyrannosaurus Rexes in Warhammer. It's probably, how big was it in comparison to the dragon?
The Tyrannosaurus was bigger.
The Tyrannosaurus was bigger than the dragon?
Yeah.
I'd have to say this. This isn't right. Honestly, I played Lizardmen. They're my army of the Lizardmen.
I've played Skaven.
But you filthy rat man. But they did ruin the rules in the last couple of editions. So.
Yeah, I quit several editions ago because
any Total War game ever. All my mates do, because we all love like epic strategy games, and they seem like the best of the bunch. And I've still not played any of them. And then when Total War Warhammer came out, I was like, oh, this is the perfect time. But it never seemed to be like, this is the thing with being a PC gamer, is that anytime you got to pay more than 50% of the retail price, you feel like you're getting ripped off somehow. And it's never quite been on sale enough. So I've not played it. I've not played Total War Warhammer, despite having spent hundreds of pounds on real Warhammer.
It's because, exactly, I've got so many games in my backlog that I could be like, I could spend $50 on your new game, or I could play this $2 game for 3 hours and be like, well, that was shit.
Well, it's not even that. It's more the fact that because we do accrue these long waiting periods of buying a game, waiting till it's dirt cheap, and then you still don't play it. Like I, for example, still haven't played The Witcher 3. And it's still sat there. So now anytime a big sprawly game comes out, I'm like, well, I could pay 60 quid for that. Or I could finally play The Witcher 3. So I just don't buy the new game.
Exactly.
And then eventually I don't play either of them, and then the new one gets added to the pile. So, fucking...
I've got all of The Witcher left to play.
This is the thing, and we can say here and now, this is the problem with modern gamers. We're fucking spoiled. We've never had so much choice as to go, well, I've got a choice of buying either the best game of this year or playing the best game of last year. And then you don't play either of them. You don't even you just keep playing fucking The Binding of Isaac forever.
But I've realised I probably like those type of games more than the big epic ones nowadays.
Oh, the little quickies.
Yeah, because I like to be able to put something down every now and then.
Well, there is a balance to be struck, I think, because this is the essence of TLDR, but here we go on the biggest tangent. Or should we not do it? Should we just stick to the?
Do whatever you want.
Okay. My normal diet is the Footy Manager, the Heart of Iron, the Europa Universalis, the big epic strategy game that lasts several hours.
Yes.
Potentially literal days long campaigns. And you don't always want that, but it's impossible to commit to another. So if I've already got a save file on Europa, I don't want to start another save file on Europa, because those are two big clashing things. So what I normally have going at one big one, and then I've got a load of little Necro Dancer, or loads of little.
Yes.
I can jump into this for 20 minutes.
Yes.
Rocket League, and this is why I've been playing Rocket League since fucking 2014, because
it's fucking fun.
Oh, it's so fun, and it's so no matter time. I've got 20 minutes. Rocket League then. Jump in, bang it out. Fucking great. That
It's like, I really love puzzle games like Zelda's and point and clicks, and it takes a while to discover one. I'm like, okay, this one has a unique take that I really want to spend the next 10 hours just trying to figure out everything. But it takes time, and it's usually best done in sessions. So sometimes I'll just close it and I'll just go to Congregate. And Congregate has all these flash games. It's like, I'll play this for 5 minutes. And then I've played 30 games for 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I was at a new trading card game called Shadowverse, which looks really cool and in no way competes with Hearthstone or the Elder Scrolls thing. Yeah, it didn't work for me. I don't know what it is.
Doesn't resonate.
No, and then the guy came on stage and he talked, and I quite literally wrote down blah 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 blah. I think he was trying to say something, but I lost so much attention. I'm like, this is not interesting, so I'm going to write down blah 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 blah. I am a fully functional adult. This bothered me because he was speaking so much, and I still don't know what it is. I'm like, my memory will serve me. It will recite something he said. No. So Destiny 2.
I mean, good.
Yes. I didn't play Destiny 1, but good for Destiny 2.
Yeah, there was several points where I thought about getting into it. Just didn't. Like, I mean, it seems fun, but Destiny seems like the kind of game that if you've got mates who play it, like in real life, not even in real life, but like if you've got mates who you are like real mates with,
like you and me.
No. I was gonna say like you and me. Like I would consider you like the ideal. Like if you were bang into it and I was bang into it, that'd be great. I can imagine us having played Destiny from day one till now.
Yeah,
because it's something to, it's a thing.
It is.
It's not the kind of thing you can drop. It's what I'm trying to say is you need a group. You need a group of mates who are all committed to playing it. It's not like COD where you can just drop in and out and play it. I don't think, and I think the Division fell down that way as well, and this is what kept me out of Destiny is that when it first came out, I had mates who did play it. They said it was shite. I was like, I'll never play it then. Then the expansions came out. They said it's got good. Then I went, now I might play it. And they went, we're bored of it now.
This is why I really don't like so many multiplayer games.
Then another expansion came out and they went, we're back into it. And I was like, yes, but I'm 200 levels below you now. I don't know. Destiny 2, I might get in on the base level. And I do like, I don't know if they mentioned this in the conference or not, but I do like a few months ago, they were talking about people who've put so many hours or so many levels into Destiny 1 that'll get carried over to Destiny 2.
Jesus.
Because I think if you're having because let's not forget when they brought Destiny 1 out, they said that was a 10-year business plan. And I think
wasn't it at one point the most expensive game ever produced, or am I thinking of something else?
Probably, yeah. And I think to change that halfway through is to punish that base who stuck with you. So it's what I'm saying is it's really rare to see a company that big rewarding loyalty, and it's good to see. It's good to see.
It is good
going,
to see.
Well,
yes,
you've played this game for so many years. We're not going to make you start off at level 0 again. You will get to start playing the new game at the same level that you play in the old game. I think that's cool. I do
it is definitely.
How are they going to balance it in matchmaking? I've no idea, but that's a question for them and not us.
Maybe like Overwatch. But anyway, this is like one of the biggest reasons why I really don't like multiplayer online games based, because it's like at one point, like let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you want to play it again and you really can't because people have lost interest, and then you're kind of stuck with it.
Yeah. And I think that I feel like the leveling system comes into that. Like again, like going back a few combos, what we were saying about Quake 2. People still play Quake 2 now. Online, right now. People if you can go right now onto a server online and you can find people playing Quake 2. And the reason for that is because there's no level system. There's no unlock system. There's no class system. There is no, to make it super political, caste system. There is just a the noob is equal to the experienced player in terms of what is open to him, other than skill. Whereas nowadays shooters are all geared to you got to unlock the good shit. And so if you're brand new and you come up against somebody who's been playing it for weeks, regardless of skill, they will have an edge because they've got better kit than you have. Whereas if you go onto a power weapons map on GoldenEye on the N64, everyone's equal, apart from pure skill. But that is not the way shooters are anymore. But then it's a big... Again, this is a conversation for a different day. Like, how as someone running a server, as a business, do you reward loyalty and blah, blah, blah? Like, yeah, it gets messy, I know. But from a pure consumer gaming standpoint, that's why those old games are better than the new games. Because generally speaking, rewarding players just for sheer bloody mindedness and sticking at it.
I said not necessarily better, but they're like better for new players, despite the fact that
they're old style games.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's better for the new style. I think it's better for people who enjoy it for pure gameplay. Like Because you don't even need to be good at the game to get good, in quotes, at the games these days. If you just play it for X amount of hours, you will have so much kit and so much weapons that you'll be better than a new player. Regardless of skill, you will just be better because you've got a better damage soak and a better damage output.
That's even true for things like Splatoon.
Really? I thought Splatoon was the one game that captured the devil-may-care attitude of the old-style shooter.
Kind of, but not really. But we'll probably get... No, it's not even on the list. Splatoon...
I didn't think that got airtime.
Splatoon 2... basically, everybody has access to the same weapons, but if you're higher levels, you can buy different kinds of weapons. So they act a bit different. And this allows you to combine things in ways you can utilize it better. So more experienced players who have been playing for a longer time, they get to have, combine his gear better as to have abilities and skills better suited to his playing style. Whereas somebody who's just started on level 1 has to have basic blasters, not necessarily better blasters, so they don't reach further and they don't do more damage. It's just that it's like, area of effect and supercharged modes and things like that. So it just makes you be like, I want to use this weapon, but also have this limit break. Then you can. And, of course, buying all the extra gear you can buy in the stores. But those have minimal effects. Do you kind of understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Okay, so it's basically you can play the game with the abilities that you want instead of the ones that you're dealt with. Right, but that's enough about Splatoon. They then start going on about esports, and they have $1 million prize. And I forgot what it was for. I'm horrible.
Sorry, what?
PC gaming, they were talking about esports and there's this competition and there's like $1 million prize, but I forgot for what game.
Oh, you've forgotten what it was for. There we go.
Yes.
Bit of a language barrier there, huh?
Yes. Okay. English. They then show an isometric game called Tunic, starring a fox, and they said it's like Zelda on the floor, but I'm not quite sure how much of Zelda it is, but it looked fun at the very least, because I like those kind of games.
By they on the floor, do you mean the consumer?
The consumer, yes.
Said it was like Zelda?
Yes.
That's exciting, because, for video game fans, to say something is like Zelda is very, very unusual indeed. In fact, I can't remember ever hearing that ever before. I can't remember ever hearing anything ever compared to Zelda.
There must have been, but I'm hard-pressed to think of an example. Anyway, it's isometric, so it's like diagonal view, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, at the very least, the combat aspect looks fun and interactive, and I hope it has a decent puzzle aspect to it as well. Then they show Battleground, and I don't remember anything about Battleground.
Okay.
So then they show Killing Floor 2. And I haven't played the first one, but the trailer for this was... What?
Again, wait. Not that a theme is developing here, but pretty sure Killing Floor 2 got its full release last year.
Well, yes. Yes. This is a running...
When did E3 become the platform for games that are already out?
That's a very good question. But they were highlighting the fact that in Killing Floor 1, they had a lot of seasonal bonuses and specific timed events. And Killing Floor 2 so far had been lacking it. So apparently starting this summer, they're starting new events and specific gameplays. And coming up first is like the carnival of something. I was going to say pain, but it seems too generic. Anyway, it's like a carnival, and the trailer is fucking hilarious. You watch that trailer, please.
I will, I definitely will.
It's like...
And you too, dear listener, you listen to that trailer as well. No, don't listen to it, watch it. I mean, you can listen to it if you want.
If you're listening to us and you haven't watched the trailer, please watch the trailer. I absolutely promise you, it includes things like, watch the man on fire, wait, he's actually on fire! And hilarity like that.
Alternatively, if you don't want to watch that trailer, just watch the news.
Then they showed Forza again. And Forza again looked pretty, I suppose.
Wait, really? They showed Forza again?
Yeah, but
although I suppose this is
PC gamer and not Xbox.
But
Then they showed last night, and last night actually got like the developer on stage as well, and they skipped it kind of over with Xbox. It had like a couple of seconds, but it got like stage presence here. And I really didn't want to talk about this, but, you know, he drew attention to it while he was giving the speech. Apparently, the guy in the past 2 years has been an absolute fucking dickhole.
Oh, wait, is this the Gamergate guy?
Yes, this is the Gamergate guy.
See, earlier on I made mention of this. I was like, oh, this is something we can talk about later on. Yeah, this is the cyberpunk thing. It's called Last Night.
The Last Night.
The Last Night. It's set in the future, like 2027, something like that bullshit. And his, allegedly his vision on Twitter a couple of years ago. Admittedly, what he said a couple of years ago on Twitter has no direct bearing on this game. It's just that a few years ago on Twitter, this is the guy who said he has got an idea for a game where progressivism has gotten out of control, and he's got the idea for a post-apocalyptic game where America is ruined by progressivism. And then suddenly we saw this really cool-looking game at this year's E3, where everyone was like, oh, I mean, this was the ultimate milkshake duck, was it not? Where
this
everyone was like,
is indeed a fucking milkshake duck.
Cyberpunk, like near future post-apocalypse, oh my god. And then within an hour, everyone realised who had made it. But, I mean,
I am very happy that you mentioned all of this, because I was afraid I would have to, because I'm afraid I already have a reputation that I am, like, a soft liberal of some sorts. Like, I get easily offended, even though I really fucking don't. I just call people fucking cunts when they are fucking cunts.
Well, see, I mean, the thing is, that if we're going to address our position on the political spectrum,
yes,
now, I am hard left. But, like, I don't think you need to be hard left to find shit like that offensive. I'm hard left, but I understand the opposition to progressivism, because even I can see some people, and I think, well, what are you doing? You're making it hard for the rest of us. You know, you see certain, like, really hardcore, for example, feminists or gay rights activists who are really, really hardcore, and you think, well, you just make it hard for me now. Because I want to try and push my agenda for the left, but now you've just made it hard because you've been so militant about it.
I completely agree with that. Like, I consider myself a decent left, but compared to the general political climate, I'm probably very left.
Yeah.
But if I'm reading about feminism and I'm reading a blog about somebody calling all penis in vagina sex equals rape because the vagina wasn't designed for the bruising that the penis causes, I'm like, what the fuck am I even reading?
Yes, and I mean, I don't know. I can only. I mean, let's not get into. Like that.
I'll just point out that if you say that you're looking for a future where feminism has ruined society, and this is it, because he's quite literally said this on Twitter. It makes me really sad, because...
But now the question we need to ask ourselves is, when me and you both saw this trailer initially,
Yes.
We didn't know who made it,
No.
and it looked really cool.
It did look really cool. I'll have to admit.
Does our a priori knowledge of who made that trailer make it less cool? I don't think it does.
The aesthetics and the development of the game looks fantastic. I love the pixel art. I love the cinematic platformer aspect of it. But I am one of the opinion that if somebody is not able to separate the art from the artist, then you shouldn't belittle them for it. Like, I now know that the guy behind this, the creative director, is an arse.
Absolutely.
He says he's not, but it's really hard to look at something from last year and say, like, well, this is like half year later.
But I mean, the thing is, like, is this going to be maybe the first example of something that we can both look at? I say both. Everybody can look at. Go, this is really cool, and then it'll come out. Maybe we can all play it. Maybe we can all play through it. But it's a really cool journey, really cinematic. Raises a lot of really important political issues, and maybe at the end of it, we will still think the guy that made it is an arse. But that doesn't make it any less valid as art. Like, there is no reason, I don't think, why people who are arses should be allowed to make big cinematic games. He should be allowed to make a big story-driven game where all the way through it hits you over the head with anti-feminist bullshit, and you should be able to play through it going, this is a great game, but I disagree with everything in it. And I don't think if you get to the end of it, that makes it a lesser game. Because if somebody made a deliberately inflammatory piece of anti-feminist art, it wouldn't belittle its artistic value. It's only because video games as they exist now, it seems very binary. It's like you're either very anti or pro-feminist. And it seems like it almost feels like now, if this guy releases the game, right, and it turns out to be a good game, it almost feels like if we play it and we say it is good, it's like an endorsement of the man. It's like, well, we're on this side of Gamergate. I don't think that needs to be the case. I think the conversation we need to have now is that, yes, there are people in this community that are cunts, and they might release games that have subtext which reveal them to be cunts. It does not mean you need to trash the game to not be a cunt. You can enjoy the game and go, well, I am still not a cunt. I am aware that the man that made's a cunt, but I'm not a cunt. Like,
it's like James Woods, it's like Clint Eastwood. Both are like really pro-Trump.
Well, I mean, it's not like James Woods. It's not like James Woods.
Well, you know what I mean. You know the idea that I mean. It's like they can create something that you can really enjoy and you can interpret the art, but at the very least, you can still realise that the person behind it is a dickhole.
I think, and not to wax prosaic here, but I think this is something that video games... in a way, it's the worst thing that could happen to video games, but it's kind of something that video games need, in that and obviously this won't happen because it's shite, but this could be the point where, like, the tipping point between video games being, are they a valid art form, and video games being, are they just consumerist bullshit, is that no more than any other modern medium has this argument about sexuality and sexism swelled up. It's swelled up around video games more than anything, and I think that's the thing that could push video games into legitimacy. Like, if this is the thing now in our modern day society, which dictates whether you are or are not a sexist, are you a gamergator, are you are not a gamergator, do you think women should play video games or not, do you think they should have a valuable role in making video games or not? If all society is becoming more electronic, and if everything is going to be about equality in the digital environment, then surely video games is the battleground to fight it on in the artistic world. Because we've already had it in music, we've already had it in film. Surely video games is the artistic battleground in which that will be fought now. I think this might be the issue, as much as it is spiny and awful and terrible, and it's sickening to see what goes on in the industry. If the mainstream media starts to shine a spotlight on this, and on this kind of movement, this might be the kind of thing that pushes video games into the actual full-on mainstream and makes it properly legitimate as an art form. And if there are arguments to spring up out of the roles of characters in video games that are based around gender roles, then I think that can only add to it.
I would like to thank you for putting the R in TLDR, because you've just spent I think at least 8 minutes talking without me saying anything. And I agree with you.
I got about a minute into it, and I was like, I need to try and reach a conclusion to this. I was going.
I agree with you.
And I got about 3 minutes into it. I was like, "Fuck!" I just talking shit.
No.
And then I went,
"Fuck it! I'm doing everything." Mate,
I was like, "That's the point. That's what
I
and then
I agree with you 99%.
Stuff. I was like, "For fuck's sake!"
Not a full 100, but 99. I'm just a little bit more adverse to people acting like scum and ganging up on people. But truth be told, that goes for people on the other side as well. People tend to love to hate group people in, outrage culture. But enough about this. Last night, it looks really cool. The idea is cool. I'm just concerned about the developers behind it, okay? Let's just leave it with that.
I mean, we can both agree on that.
Yeah. So then
agree on that, absolutely.
Then we get showed Islands, spelled with a Y, which is another crafting game on a tropical island in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, but you can create castles and towns, and you can multiplayer with dungeons. I'm not quite sure what it was meant to be. And it has this weird art style. It looks like a PS1 game, but smooth. Everything is very angular. Do you know what I mean?
So the N64 then?
Yeah, kind of like the N64. Yeah. So everything looks very angular, like noses. They're like a perfect triangle.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, you can craft things, and you can build houses, and it looks okay, but I'm not quite sure if it's the kind of game I want to.
But it is just at its core, a survival builder.
A survival builder, and it has
resource
dungeons.
Manager thing.
Yeah, something like that.
But again, not to form a theme, not to keep going harping on the same things, but why would you try and take on Blizzard at card games, on the Morpigers? Why would you try and take on Minecraft at survival crafted games?
Yeah.
It's a thing. Like, once Minecraft's a thing, why bother making another one? Because
now you say it does seem exactly like that.
Then
I wrote down Echo Arena Lone Echo.
And by Echo, I assume you don't mean the Dolphin, because that is the one remake. I'd be like, okay.
I really wanted to talk more about this because I don't remember anything about this now. So,
but it looked cool.
I think it looked cool because I wrote down several things.
I don't think there's anything in the TLDR rules that says you can't open a tab right now and Google it.
I am.
So you were buying time. I see. All right.
Oh, that was it.
We could just snip it all out and just.
No. I'm keeping this shit in because TLDR is off the cuff. It's a fucking virtual reality frisbee. Never mind.
What? Say that again, sorry.
Virtual reality frisbee.
Oh, wait. So wait. VR frisbee.
No, it's called virtual reality frisbee.
But it's not VR.
But it's not VR.
Wait, so what? Poor man's windjammers.
Then there's like a mech suit basketball game.
Oh wait 1 second. If there is a theme to be gathered here, because in my mind, I like to try and attach themes to E3s. And from what we've said so far, we've had poor man's windjammers. We've had poor man's whatever the last couple of games were that we talked about, because I'm a bit drunk now. It does seem like this has been the E3 of someone else had this idea already, but here's our version of it. We talked about, taking on Blizzard at card games.
Card games, tabletop games.
Talked about
war simulators.
Yeah, and now we're talking about
VR remake.
Yeah, and now we're talking about Windjammers as a thing. Why are you going to make a Frisbee game? This is the E3 of just people have done the game you already want to make, but better though. So why do
the people who have already made the game are bringing the game back in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bubsy. We're getting the Bubsy. We're getting it.
That's actually I'm ending this one on a Bubsy. So.
Yes.
Yes. So then we get Rise Up, which is like a mixed suit basketball game. And the only thing I liked about that presentation was the developer came on stage and like, it's $30 and it's not $60 for multiplayer only bullshit. And I kind of like that because it does seem like a lot of developers are just putting out full-priced games for just multiplayer things.
Yep.
And then we get Lawbreakers, which is a multiplayer first-person shooter, I suppose. Oh, Wargroove. Have you ever played Advance Wars? Do you know what Advance Wars is?
No.
Nintendo put out...
I'll be honest, I think we've reached the point of the episode where you just talk now and bang through stuff that was at E3 and I give one-word answers.
No. Advance Wars is an RTS game by Nintendo, and it is very cartoony with big cartoony tanks and etc. And
actually, wait, I have seen Advance Wars played. I've seen Advance Wars played on the original Game Boy Advance, in fact. I'm assuming that's why it's got that name.
Exactly. So, Wargroove is by the same people that did Stardew Valley.
Alright.
Yeah.
And they made... Alright, okay, now you've got my attention. Now I'm leaning right into the microphone.
Ooh.
Because this sounds interesting.
And they made an Advance Wars, except with medieval aesthetics and vampires and skeletons and zombie monsters.
Vampires, you say?
Yes. And on stage, they made a level within 3 minutes in a map editor, and they played it like on stage as well. So between talking, they made a map and they played a game, so it's got level editor in it as well.
Yes, but they're professionals, so the human being couldn't do that.
No.
It's still very impressive, though.
It's still like... it.
Although, if this is the way Nintendo are going, if they've gone, fuck, Mario Maker was a success.
No, but it's not Nintendo, it's the fucking indie people.
Oh no, sorry, it's because, do you know what threw me? It's because it was the Advance Wars dudes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, alright, I fucked that up. Snip.
It's the people... It's the people that make...
Don't edit that out. Keep my stupidity in.
Yeah, you stupid bastard. The people that made Stardew Valley, they made an Advance War clones, quote unquote, except with medieval monsters, and it looks fun. And I love Advanced Wars, so it's good. Okay, so then they show Shadow of War again, except instead of showing the blokey orc, they showed a cinematic, so it's boring. And do you remember I said I was going to end this on a Bubsy?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah? There's going to be a remake on the PC.
Wait. On the PC?
Oh, no. Not for Bubsy. A Bubsy. So I meant it like in a metaphorical sense.
So not the actual Bubsy, but a metaphorical Bubsy.
A metaphorical Bubsy. Right. So they said, like, we have a new title from... Oh, I can't even mention it yet. So let's just start the video. And it's a video, and it shows... Guess what it shows?
Baldur's Gate.
Nope. Age of fucking Empires.
Baldur's Gate is as close to Age of Empires as you can get without...
Age of fucking Empires.
Good.
No,
Who
was asking for this?
Okay, you know what I said earlier on about so-and-so being the Halo Wars 2? This is the Halo Wars 2 of this year's E3. No, nobody knew they wanted an Age of Empires sequel.
It's not a
Now
sequel.
But now that it's here.
It's a remake.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, no, but no, then no. An Age of Empires remake
Of the original Age of Empires.
Why then?
And it doesn't even look new age. It just looks like the old one, except like it's now got HD graphics.
Wait, and this is what they ended the show with?
Yes!
Why?
Fucking why?
Was it purely to fuck with people?
I don't know.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. Yes, fantastic, sure.
That's the only word for it.
Because who the fuck ever thought of Age of Empires in the last 5 years? I really don't know. But they went like, oh, we remastered the soundtrack and we debugged the pathfinding and oh my god, you can all play Age of Empires again. I'm like, I want to play Age of Empires 2. Fuck you.
What have we got left yet? Loads.
10 seconds, I've got to grab a pillow because my arse hurts.
Yep, okay. I should have just taken these 10 seconds to like do a song or something. Knowing that it would never get in. Never get in the final edit. Could have done anything. Floris hates the Jews.
Watch me put this in there towards the end.
Floris hates the Jews.